Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Gaming with me, Tony Mo. We're here today to talk a little bit about the future of Destiny and its DLCs. So a while back, there was a big article that Kotaku posted claiming that they had talked to some people from Bungie. There was no official sources on this. None of it was ever confirmed by Activision or Bungie. But in that article, they stated that the introduction of cosmetic microtransactions through the Eververse in the tower would help pave the way for free DLC for Destiny moving into the future. Now, as I said, none of that was ever set in concrete. A lot of people took that as some sort of, oath, some sort of Bible that all of this was very, very true. It was written, it was 100% concrete, set in stone. Although I know most of us did not, and most of us can understand that it was simply an article written by Kotaku that was very well timed with the launch of those microtransactions. I, for one, was not ever of the mindset that Activision would ever allow there to be any sort of free DLC for Destiny. The plain and simple fact is, Destiny is selling like crazy. It's selling like the tastiest hotcakes this side of the universe. And from a business perspective, when something is selling really, really freaking well, like making you tons of money and profit, you don't stop charging people for that item. You continue to charge for it, and sometimes you charge even more for it. Now, I know that doesn't always apply in the world of video games, but from a business perspective, again, it works. Interestingly enough, one of the big shots from Activision recently came out and said basically this: hey, we're really excited about Destiny. It's selling really well. All of the, DLC and expansion that we sold for the game have seen really great reception from the community. They've sold really well. And it turns out that our recent introduction of microtransactions through test efforts have also sold very well. And I do believe that both paid DLC and paid microtransactions can exist alongside one another, and we have proven that. Yep, that's a businessman talking. That's a businessman talking, all right, because the community is sitting there like, wow, I really hope all of us paying for all of these dance emotes that should have been free, I hope we're going to help fund the way forward for paid DLC. And they got people. People bought the dance emotes. People paid for those cosmetic items under that assumption. Now, the question I want to ask you guys is, if you knew, if it was 100% sure, and Bungie confirmed that cosmetics did not mean free DLC, we were still going to be paying for DLC, they're still going to be using the same format, would you have paid for those cosmetics? Would you have paid for those dances? Would you have paid for any of the items that were available during the Halloween festival? Let me know down in the comment section below. I really just want to hear your opinion on it. I know there are some people who are such big Destiny fans, they're going to. This is the game they love. This is the game they play on a daily basis, on a regular basis. For them, it's not an issue to spend money on it regardless. That's okay. That's your personal freedom to spend money where you want to. I'm not here to change that. But I do think there'd be a large portion of you guys who would have said no, had you not had some sort of hope or faith that there would be free DLC. And now nothing's been made concrete. I'm not saying that this statement made by one of their, head people at Activision means that there will not be any free DLC for Destiny, but I personally don't believe there ever will be. Because as I said, they're looking at it like, hey, everything is selling really well now. The microtransactions are selling really well, and the DLC in the past has sold really well. So let's continue to just keep charging for these things because they're selling really well. Now, Destiny has managed to capture and become something that few games manage to do. I won't deny that Destiny is a good experience. I really enjoy Destiny. I do. I genuinely do. But because of the way that the game is presented, as an MMO type experience, a persistent experience that continues to grow and expand, and that will continue to grow and expand moving in the future, it definitely has, I think, created and captured an addiction for some people. Now, to deny this would be absolutely insane. Games like this always have some sort of level of addiction. Look at the amount of people playing World of Warcraft. I had deep friends. I have a lot of big friends, a lot of friends who were thoroughly addicted to World of Warcraft. I mean, one of my friends I didn't talk to for 4 months because Wrath of the Lich King came out. Like, legitimately, I did not hear from him for 4 months. He disappeared. I helped him build his new computer before Lich King, and then that was it. He was gone. He's not like that anymore. That's not him anymore, but that was very much him at one point. Is that okay? You know, whatever. That was what he enjoyed doing. I'm not here to fault him for that, but to deny that people don't become addicted to experiences like this would be blasphemy. They very much do, and I think Destiny has become one of those experiences that people are very much addicted to. Frankly, I think Activision can sell $60 expansions next year, and there will be people who pay for them. Enough people that pay for them that no matter how lacking that expansion actually is, Activision still makes money and the game still continues to grow and move forward. I think it's going to be difficult for the community to make a change in this sense, to make some sort of a push, or to ever influence Activision to actually start to release free DLC. But really, all of that's a lot of discussion, speculation, you know, nothing is set in concrete. Really, it seems like we're going to have to wait until next year, or maybe later this year we'll see something. I don't think so. I think it's going to be 2016 before we hear any concrete news on what's going on with the future of Destiny. But I, as a final opinion, do not foresee free DLC in the way that we want it, actual expansions ever coming to Destiny. Now let's look at the benefits to a format where microtransactions for cosmetics items actually do help fuel free DLC. That's a great situation. A lot of games are in that situation and have been in that situation. Guild Wars 2 is one of the best examples today. Guild Wars 2 was a buy-to-play MMO. You paid one time, you got yourself a copy of the game, and then for like 2 years, 3 years, I think it was like 2 years, yeah, I believe. I don't even remember how long the game's been out. A long time. Let's say 2 years. They pushed out free update after free update after free update, all fueled supposedly. This is what they said, by the purchase of cosmetic items through their storefront, through their premium storefront. I mean, we got so much free DLC for Guild Wars 2. I played it solo for like a year and a half. You know, after I hit cap, I just kept playing it. I enjoyed all the free expansions, and now they have asked us to pay for their very first proper expansion. That is what we like to call, what I like to call, and many of us in, you know, this YouTube sort of side of things, journalism call, games as a service. Witcher 3 can be thrown in this list. I've tossed Dying Light into that list. These are games that released... They hooked the player up, they respected them, and they said, thank you for helping our game be so successful. Before you've even made it successful, we want to thank you for purchasing this game. The Witcher 3 was like, here's a free piece of DLC every single week for like 5 months after launch. And then they showed up and they said, hey, we've got this really great, huge expansion for you guys. It's going to be $20, and people bought it. I bought it, and I haven't even been able to touch it yet. You know, that is games as a service. Few games manage to pull that off, and that is the step in the right direction. It's not a matter of wanting something for free. It's a matter of wanting to be treated like a respected customer. Someone who has helped their product be successful and wants a sign of respect in return for that. Few games do that. Few games do that as well as The Witcher, as well as Guild Wars, and Dying Light has done that very well. It just makes sense, right? Like, hook us up with some free stuff, make us feel like we're your customer, like you're proud to have us as someone who purchased a copy of your game, and then we have no problem paying for a piece of DLC. Frankly, Destiny hasn't done that. I really do enjoy Destiny. I love what Bungie's doing with it. I think it's an amazing experience, but they haven't taken that route. If they did start to take that route moving into the future, the idea that, okay, we have this cosmetic store, you can purchase, you know, with real world money, you can purchase these cosmetic items, and this is going to help us fund free DLC moving forward. Now, I'm not saying that every expansion, every update moving forward has to be free, but the idea is that most of that stuff would be, and then when it's time for a huge expansion like the Taken King to drop, it just makes way more sense for people to want to actually purchase that product. And a lot of people would. I feel like they would see even higher sales numbers just because we've seen other games do it, you know? I mean, there's no denying that money can still be made there. CG Projekt, which is basically an indie developer, is killing it with The Witcher 3. I mean, they produced an insane AAA quality game from the funds that they made with The Witcher 2, and then they produced The Witcher 3, and now they're moving forward, still working on Cyberpunk 2077, and I think, you know, CD Projekt's gonna be one of the longest living developers that we've ever seen, I think, in that sort of genre, this big AAA indie developer experience that they have going on. So there's no doubt that it can be done, that it has been done, and it can still remain insanely profitable. Now, of course, I haven't actually seen Activision's numbers. Maybe they're just making bonkers amounts of cash. And greed is good, as Gordon Gekko would say. And that's very much the viewpoint that Activision seems to have in this situation. As much as we talk about it here, you know, the negative sides of all this, I know people are going to hate on it. People are going to respect the opinion, whatever. You know, I want to see Destiny succeed. I really do. I also want to see it be better at respecting its fan base, at rewarding us for helping this game exist. Without us, Destiny would not be here. It would be nothing. It would be just another blown over first-person shooter that never even had a chance to grow into what it has become today after the launch of The Taken King. It wouldn't have had that opportunity if people had not played it. Publishers and developers need to respect that. They need to reward that. And then ask us for our money. Then ask us to open our wallets. Don't reach in and just pull the cash out and force us to pay to participate in an experience. That's not the way to go about doing it. But obviously, maybe I'm all wrong, because Destiny is, like I said, selling insanely well regardless of all of this. Maybe it's the addiction, maybe there's something more going on there, but it's beyond my grasp and my capability. There's my opinions, there's my thoughts on Destiny moving in the future. I wish it the best. I wish and I hope that Activision sees the light to help support this community and respect this community and reward this community for making Destiny such a success. And that doesn't mean continuing to charge us for both cosmetic microtransactions, especially ones that are available during special events like the Halloween event. I mean, they literally monetized Halloween in Destiny. And then also ask us to pay for 3-4 expansions a year at $20 to $40. That's not games as a service. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions of your own, feel free to share them down in the comment section below. I know this is going to be heated for some people. Just voice your opinion without thrashing everyone. There's no reason to do that. Everyone has their own side to things. Share it down in the comment section below. And I will see you guys in the next one.